Hi guys, Ivy here with Homeschool on the Range, and I want to show you about a fabulous new herbal curriculum that has just become available. It's kind of new, it's kind of not new. This is done through Herbal Roots Zine, which has been around for a while. Actually, my kids and I got all of these little zines. Christine, the owner, used to put out, I want to say 12 or 13 like magazines, one per month each year, covering things like fire cider or chickweed or a dandelion, just choosing one herb each month to focus on. And so we had gotten those magazines 10 years ago or more. And we have them here and they're really neat to look at, but we never really could figure out how to use them as far as a curriculum. So Christine was hearing that from a lot of parents, and she kind of went back to the drawing board, took the e-zines that she had put together and turned them into this whole curriculum. And that's what we're looking at right here. There are 8 main tenets to this curriculum: exploring herbs, plant identification, plant uses, botany, drawing plants, story time, making remedies, and then the ebook and curriculum, which is one of my favorite parts. Now, I have to say right off the bat, I love everything about this except for one thing. And this may not even be something that affects you, but if you live in a rural area like I do, I have been queuing this up for about 30-40 minutes before even starting this video. And these still are finally just now queuing up. All of the videos are done through Vimeo, which I understand that the author, the owner, has put them up this way to make it so that you can't just download stuff willy-nilly and then keep it, because it is a membership. However, for people like myself who live in a very rural area, these videos, this one right here has been buffering for 45 minutes, and you can see I would be able to play to about 43, 44 seconds on it after buffering for 45 minutes. So that's one thing I really don't like about it. I have contacted Christine and I haven't heard back yet as far as maybe if there's an alternate route to accessing videos. But if you live in a rural area with very poor internet like we do, then caveat emptor, it may not be the best fit for you. That said, there are also a lot of non-video pieces to this. So let's go through it. Let's start with how to identify plants. So right now, there are several herbs already up, and each month there are going to be more added. If you're doing a month-by-month subscription, each month 3 or 4 will be added. If you're doing an annual subscription like we are, there will be several more added throughout the year. Currently, there is calendula, chamomile, chickweed, cleavers, dandelion, elderberry, lemon balm, marshmallow, nettles, peppermint, rose, violet, and yarrow. Now, if we want to use these plants, we need to identify them correctly first. Since it's spring, let's start with dandelion. And I'm not going to show the entire videos because that would be a copyright infringement. However, if you want to learn more about this program, you can go to the herbalrootzine.org/membership. And everything for calendula is available for you to check out. You can do the entire unit on calendula so that you can really get a feel for how the program works. This is identifying dandelion.
Why does dandelion have such a bad rap? When you look across your yard in the early spring, do you see a carpet of bright yellow flowers that turn into these beautiful white fluff balls? What's so bad about having pretty yellow flowers and white fluff balls in your yard? I say absolutely nothing. Not only are they pretty to look at, but they're also a great source of nectar in the early spring for bees, and they're one of the most nutritious plants that grows. That's right. This spring edible plant is packed full of vitamins and minerals. All parts of the...
She's going to walk us through how to exactly identify dandelion in the wild. Now, for dandelion, obviously most of us know how to do that, but there are other herbs that look similar to things that maybe we shouldn't be eating or touching. And she goes into that too when she touches on those herbs. After identifying your plant, maybe you want to learn the botany of it, especially for older students. Let's look at the botany of chickweed.
I've pulled up a complete chickweed plant from my yard, and I'm going to walk through the botanical features of chickweed. Now, this is a very small plant. I purposely chose one that was smaller just because I wanted to be able to fit it on the camera and show you everything. But chickweed can grow really long and tall if left to its own devices and not mowed down or cut down. So let's start at the roots.
And she will spend the next 7.5 minutes walking us through the botany, all the tiny pieces, the roots, the stems, the leaves, etc., of this chickweed plant, so that you're able to identify it even better. This is something that I think is going to be great for my high school students, and also as an adult, I'm excited about learning these parts. I'm not sure that I would go through it at an in-depth level with a younger student, but it couldn't hurt to gloss over it and, at least introduce them to the material. We'll come back to medicinal uses while this one buffers up a little bit. Once you have learned how to use your plants and how to identify them, maybe you want to know some things that you can do with them. Well, here's an idea: making calendula face toner.
Let's make a calendula face toner. Making face toner is easy, and it's a great way to care for your face. This can be used on other parts of your body as well, and is soothing for sunburns. To make your toner, you will need,
and just like a science lab experiment that you might watch online, she's going to walk you step by step through all of the pieces that you need and exactly how to make it. You can also use your herbs for food medicine or food remedies or different uses that way. This one is making peppermint sun tea.
Let's make a peppermint sun tea. Making sun tea is an easy way to brew up tea during the summer using the power of the sun. You can make sun tea out of just about any herb that you would normally make tea from. To begin,
now, I don't know if you just noticed, but our audio kept on going, but our video stopped. That's just one of the things that happens here on rural internet. Similar to making the calendula face toner, she is going to walk us through making a recipe. Some of the recipes are very simple like this. Some of them are a little bit more complicated. All right, the medicinal properties is still buffering up. Okay, while we wait for the edible and medicinal one to buffer up, let's look at Chamomile Drawing. This is going to, especially if you do notebooking as part of your homeschool, or if you just have an artistic student, or maybe you want to understand that botany just a little bit better. This is another way to incorporate a different modality.
Yeah. So if you haven't already familiarized yourself with my drawing techniques, you might want to stop this video and go look for my basics of drawing video and learn how to draw in the way that I teach so that you can follow along with this video a little easier. Also, I teach blind and modified contours, but for the sake of time, I'm going to be...
She's right. You are going to want to watch how she draws first, so that you have a better idea of what she's talking about, because she does go along at a bit of a clip. But once you've watched that how to draw video in her particular method, you'll be fine.
Okay, so let's decide what we're going to draw here. So there's a lot of plant going on, and chamomile in its natural form kind of forms a clumping mass where these little rhizomes shoot up. And
okay, we'll let that one buffer up a little bit more, and then I will come back to it and show you what a completed drawing looks like once it's got 30 minutes to buffer. So I may have to stop this video and edit it in later. Let's go back. Edible and medicinal properties finally pulled up. So this would be what a video for the making food and medicine from elderberry is going to look like. All right, lemon balm.
So let's talk about lemon balm's medicinal and nutritional uses and how we can prepare this great herb. Lemon balm doesn't have a lot of vitamins and minerals, but she does contain thiamine, which is vitamin B1, as well as vitamin C, calcium, and magnesium. This herb...
She will go on to explain to us why lemon balm is good for you, how it can be used in your food, and if you need to use it medicinally, how you can use it in that form as well. Now, if you have little ones, they might really enjoy the story time. Each herb comes with its own story. If you have big ones too, or if you're doing this family style, this could be something for them as well. But I think that the little ones will probably enjoy it just a little bit more.
Come children, come gather round. I'd like to tell you a story about elderberry. There once was a woman, advanced in age, having raised many children of her own. She was a wise woman, known by the community as a witch in the true sense of the word, a healer. At this point in her life, she lived alone as her children had grown, moved away, and married, and she had already sent her husband on to the next world. This woman knew all sorts of plants to use for healing those with afflictions, both physical and mental. She grew many plants in her yard around her house, and many more she wildcrafted in the forests that surrounded her home. No one ever thought to ask her what plant this magical medicine came from. They just accepted that it was good medicine.
So my favorite part about this curriculum is over here in the ebook and curriculum supplements. Now, as you've seen, based on just what I've tried to show you in this video that introduces you to herbal roots, one of the reasons this is my favorite part is because it's in a print format. And we struggle so hard out here on the rural net with being able to stream things. For some reason, Vimeo gives us a lot more trouble than YouTube. I don't know why, and I'm not really tech savvy in that sense. So if you know why Vimeo is giving us more trouble than YouTube, definitely feel free to shoot me a message or leave a comment below explaining that to me. I would appreciate it. But so because all of the videos are done on Vimeo, I think that they're really well done. We just struggle to be able to use them here at our house. So I love this part. Now, something else that I love about this part is that it's broken down into different levels. There are 4 different levels of supplements ranging from kindergarten all the way to high school. Down here is an ebook. This ebook is pretty similar to the Herbal Roots zines that we purchased about 10 years ago, but it's been updated, it's been colorized, it's got new information added. I did take the time to compare an old one to a new one, and there are some differences. There's a bonus coloring page that is not just for little ones, and then there is a lesson checklist. And I have I'm going to show you all of these things a little bit more in depth so that you can see them. But I will tell you that to organize things, because my kids are in high school right now, I have taken all of the level 4s and I have printed out all of the level 4s along with the ebooks, the bonus coloring sheets, and the nettle lesson checklist. And each month they are going to be working their way through one herb. So all I printed out was these level 4s, put them together in like a giant notebook, 3-hole punch notebook. And then that's what they're using for a botany curriculum for this year. If you only have preschoolers, then just print out the level 1 stuff and maybe your coloring sheet and checklist and use that as a teacher-led curriculum. You only need to print out the ones that you need. But if you have one of those families where you like to do things family style, and I know that there are a lot of people who do, you can be teaching from this ebook, from the Herbal Roots zine, using your checklist and giving each one of your kids the age-appropriate supplement to go through. So similar to some of your Charlotte Mason styles or your other family style, unit study style curriculum, this is set up in a very similar way. We use the good and the beautiful for a lot of our things. Once upon a time, we used it for history, and I remember that we had different supplements based on age levels, very similar to this. I would read a lesson, and then they would complete the supplement that was appropriate for their grade. And to answer your question, we stopped using the good and the beautiful because all of my kids were in high school and they wanted to do something different. So we switched to knotgrass. So that really has nothing to do with any of this except for to say you can do this family style. So what I first did when we downloaded all of this information was I started a folder for each herb. And let's pick Calendula because that's the one that she has up for a sample right now. There are 7 files. I like to do the checklist, which has all of the different lessons available, what day you started, what day you completed, and any notes that you want to take about that. If you have a state where you've got to keep a portfolio of what you've learned, this is going to be a great addition. If you just want to stay a little bit more organized or plan ahead, again, the checklist is very helpful. This is that coloring sheet. It's going to look very similar to what you're making in your drawing class. So you might have older kids do the drawing class and younger kids use the coloring sheet. This is your teacher book, otherwise known as your Herbal Roots Zine. Cavorting with Calendula. It's 54 pages long. And it includes, and again, you can go to her membership site. You can download all of this Calendula stuff for free so that you can get a better look at it, spend your time going through. The supply list, the calendar, it says all about cinnamon, but it's supposed to be all about calendula. An herbal glossary, scramble, search, word search, etc. Botany, herbal lore, songs and poems, recipes, a coloring page, herbal crafts, mazes. They're just different games and resources to go along with it. Note for parents, the supply list, the calendar, which we're going to look at calendars a little bit more in depth when we look at each one of those supplements. Herb spirits. If you are into Waldorf schooling, there are some elements of the Waldorf school in here. Glossary, energetics, word search, some different games, the botany of it. These make good accompaniments to the videos, herbal lore, playtime, how to use it in recipes, coloring page, different crafts. There's a lot of information in here. Resources, reference for if you want to look up more things. And then there's the all-important answer key for us busy mom teachers. Okay, so level 1, which is pre-K and kindergarten, is going to be 28 pages long and has a note for parents on how to get started, supply list, circle time lesson plans, basic calendula uses. It's very, very age appropriate. A lot of story time and circle time stuff at this age level. And if you just paid attention to the teacher guide, you'll notice that some of these pages are the same. So if you're only using this with one grade level, then you're only going to need to print out the actual grade level. If you're doing it with a family style, you're going to want to print out the teacher guide as well. Level 2, which is grades 1 through 4, is going to look somewhat similar, but it starts off with lesson plans for the week. So week 1, you're going to do circle time, lesson, craft, medicine making, and copy work. That's what you're doing over the entire week, but then it's broken down into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. A lot of the same information, a few more games and puzzles, some copy work in 2 different formats, some word wall work, flashcards. Level 3, which is for middle school, grades 5 through 8, has some of the same information. I like how it's got, again, week 1. Now, she's got some books here. Independent reading, choose between Falling In and The Herbalist of Yarrow. That book information, I struggled myself to find where it was at the beginning because you can't click on these links here. But if you will go and read through the information to parents, she tells you the author and you can find these. Some of them I was able to find at the library. Some I'm going to probably have to get off of Amazon or interlibrary loan, but you just choose one of these to be reading. And then, you know, we have check boxes for each of these lessons. Thursday, they're doing independent reading, a lesson, craft, and vocabulary. And then this is, I think, 4 weeks of lessons. Yeah. So 4 weeks of lessons just for calendula. This again is the middle school level. Here's your information. The Herbalist of Yarrow, Fairy Tale of Plant Wisdom by Chatoya de la Tour, or Falling In by Frances O'Rourke Dow. It's got your information, some videos, vocabulary, copy work. And then some flashcards. Most of the information here is going to be in your references and resources and your actual lesson plans. And then we have the high school supplement, again, grades 9 through 12. Looks similar to middle school. Except for it has the addition of some writing assignments. So week 1, there are 3 different writing assignments that encourage your students to investigate the plants a little bit more and kind of get hands-on and get to know those plants. There's also an herb monograph set in the high school one where you will, for calendula, you will look up this information and you will rate, do the pictures, write the information. It continues on to the next page. How can it be used? Energetics, medicinal actions. If you would rather do it in a more text-based format, my kids definitely prefer the more visual format, but there is also a text-based format. If you have an ADD kid who just gets easily distracted, that might be a better format for them. There is flashcards, and again, the bulk of the material is up here in the lesson plans. And I told you that I would swing back by and show you what the chamomile looks like at the end. This is, I'm not going to play the video because it's really stilted. It's starting and stopping quite a bit. But this is what the page looks like at the very end of the drawing lesson. It's got, it's almost like a notebooking page. It's got different drawings of the chamomile as well as notes that have been taken about it throughout the way. And then up here we've got the Latin and the proper words for it. If you are interested in exploring this further, go to herbalrootszine.org and go to Herb Club. Once you get there, you will be able to download everything for the calendula one. You will be able to watch all of those videos that I unfortunately was unable to stream for you due to either copyright or just internet connectivity issues. And you will be able to see for yourself whether this is a good fit for your family. You can purchase a month-to-month subscription, an annual subscription, or a lifetime subscription. And she will be continuing to add, there are 130, I believe 131 different herbs that will be added by the time it's all said and done. It's a great investment for families who want to focus on nature or getting back to nature. And I look forward to updating you on it after we have spent a year in the 22-23 year going over this with my high school students. Have a great day.